The year is 1941. The Nazi jackboot has fallen upon Poland. Lvov, a city of vibrant culture, is now steeped in fear. The streets, once bustling with life, echo with the heavy tread of soldiers. The stench of fear hangs heavy in the air, a grim premonition of the horrors to come. For the Jewish population, the world shrinks to the size of the Lvov Ghetto, a prison of brick and barbed wire. Every day brings fresh horrors. Hunger gnaws at their bellies. Disease stalks the crowded streets. The specter of death casts a long shadow over their lives. Leopold Socha, a man of simple means, navigates the labyrinthine sewers with an uncanny familiarity. Born and raised in the city, he had always been a man of the underground, working as a sewer inspector before the war. Now these tunnels are more than just his workplace, they are his refuge, his domain, and his lifeline. He knows every twist, every turn, every secret these tunnels hold. Each brick and stone is etched into his memory, a mental map that guides him through the darkness. The sewers, once a mundane part of his daily routine, have transformed into a complex network of survival. His days are spent in the murky depths, the faint glow of his lantern his only companion. The light flickers, casting eerie shadows on the damp walls, but it is enough to keep the darkness at bay. In these tunnels, time seems to stand still, and the world above feels like a distant memory. He is a survivor, hardened by the harsh realities of life under occupation. The war has taken its toll on him, leaving him weary but resolute. Each day is a battle, not just against the enemy, but against the despair that threatens to consume him. Szczepek Wróblewski, younger and more agile, is Socha's partner in this subterranean world. A former apprentice, Szczepek has quickly adapted to the harsh conditions of the sewers. His youth and energy complement Socha's experience, making them an effective team. He relies on Socha's experience, learning the secrets of the sewers one day at a time. Each lesson is a step towards survival, each mistake a potential death sentence. The bond between them grows stronger with each passing day, forged in the crucible of their shared struggle. Together they scavenge for valuables, for anything to ease their struggle in a world turned upside down. The sewers are a treasure trove of discarded items, remnants of a life that once was. They sift through the muck and grime, finding small pieces of hope amidst the filth. Their initial motivation is simple: survival. The war has stripped them of everything, leaving them with nothing but their wits and determination. Each day is a quest for sustenance, a fight to stay alive in a world that seems intent on their destruction. They are not driven by ideology or grand ambitions. The grand narratives of the war mean little to them. Their focus is on the here and now, on the next meal, the next safe place to rest. They are men caught in the gears of history, trying to carve out a small space for themselves amidst the chaos. They are men trying to stay alive in a world gone mad. The sewers offer a semblance of stability, a place where they can momentarily escape the horrors above. But even here, the war's shadow looms large, a constant reminder of the fragility of their existence. Yet fate has a way of unearthing the hidden depths of the human spirit. In the darkest of times they find moments of light, small acts of kindness that remind them of their humanity. The sewers, though grim and foreboding, become a place where they can rediscover their strength and resilience. The sewers, their sanctuary from the chaos above, will become a crucible. Here, they will face their greatest challenges, not just from the enemy, but from within themselves. The choices they make, the paths they take, will define who they are and who they will become. A place where their morals will be tested and their humanity redefined. In the depths of the city below, they will find not just survival, but a deeper understanding of what it means to be human. Their journey through the sewers is a testament to the enduring spirit of those who refuse to be broken, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. Life inside the Lvov Ghetto is a living hell. The streets are narrow and overcrowded, filled with the echoes of despair and the shadows of lost hope. Every corner of this confined space tells a story of unimaginable suffering and relentless oppression. Families are torn apart, their lives shattered by the Nazis' brutal regime. Mothers cling to their children, trying to shield them from the horrors that await. Fathers are dragged away, their faces etched with fear and helplessness. The bonds of family, once a source of strength, are now a source of unbearable pain. The air is thick with the stench of decay and the cries of the suffering. The streets are littered with debris and the remnants of a once vibrant community. The walls, now crumbling and stained, bear silent witness to the atrocities committed within this confined space. Each day is a struggle for survival. People scavenge for scraps of food, their bodies weakened by hunger and disease. The strong prey on the weak, and the weak cling to life with a tenacity born of sheer desperation. The ghetto is a place where humanity is stripped to its barest essence, where survival is the only goal. A meager crust of bread, a sip of dirty water, these are the things that sustain life. Children, their eyes hollow and their bodies frail, share what little they have with each other. The act of sharing, a small gesture of kindness, becomes a lifeline in this sea of suffering. The Nazis, their faces contorted with hate, conduct their reign of terror with chilling efficiency. They patrol the streets, their presence a constant reminder of the power they wield. Their cruelty knows no bounds, and their actions are driven by a deep-seated hatred for those they deem inferior. Roundups become a terrifying routine. The sound of boots on cobblestones, the shouts of soldiers and the cries of the captured fill the air. People are dragged from their homes, their fates unknown. The fear of being taken is a constant companion, a shadow that looms over every moment. Men, women, and children are herded like cattle towards an unknown fate. They are packed into trucks and trains, their destinations shrouded in mystery and dread. The journey is brutal, and many do not survive. Those who do are left to face an uncertain future, their lives hanging by a thread. Whispers of death camps spread through the ghetto like a virus, fueling the ever-present fear. The stories of unimaginable horrors, of gas chambers and mass graves, are passed from person to person. The fear of death is a constant companion, a shadow that looms over every moment. The constant threat of discovery hangs over the inhabitants of the ghetto. People hide in attics and basements, their hearts pounding with fear. The sound of footsteps above, the creak of a floorboard, can send them into a panic. The fear of being found is a constant gnawing presence. Their lives are a fragile thread, easily severed by the whims of their captors. The Nazis hold the power of life and death in their hands, and they wield it with ruthless efficiency. The inhabitants of the ghetto live in a state of constant fear, their lives hanging by a thread. Hope, once a flickering flame, begins to dwindle in the face of such overwhelming despair. The weight of their suffering, the constant fear, and the relentless oppression take their toll. The light in their eyes dims, and the spark of hope that once sustained them begins to fade. Yet, even in the darkest of times, the human spirit finds ways to endure. Moments of human connection, small acts of kindness, and the bonds of family become lifelines. These moments of light, however fleeting, provide a glimmer of hope in the darkness. Acts of kindness, whispers of resistance, and the bonds of family become lifelines in this sea of suffering. People find strength in each other, in the small acts of defiance that remind them of their humanity. The spirit of resistance, though often hidden, burns brightly in the hearts of those who refuse to give up. One day, while navigating the sewers, Socha and Wróblewski find themselves in a labyrinth of shadows and echoes. The air is thick with the scent of decay, and the only sounds are the distant drips of water and the occasional scurrying of unseen creatures. The sewers, a place of refuge for some and a tomb for others, hold secrets that are both ancient and recent. As they turn a corner, they stumble upon an unexpected sight. A group of Jews, desperate and terrified, seeking refuge in the fetid darkness. These individuals, driven underground by the relentless persecution above, have found a temporary sanctuary in the most unlikely of places. Their faces, gaunt and hollow, tell stories of unimaginable suffering and loss. Their eyes, wide with fear, reflect the horrors they have escaped. Each glance is a silent plea for help, a testament to the human spirit's resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. The flickering light from Socha's lantern casts eerie shadows on the walls, amplifying the sense of dread that permeates the air. The stench of their fear is almost unbearable. It mingles with the already oppressive odor of the sewers, creating an atmosphere that is both suffocating and heart-wrenching. The tension is palpable, a tangible force that presses down on everyone present. This encounter presents Socha with a profound dilemma. He is a man caught between two worlds, the world of survival and the world of compassion. The weight of his decision is almost too much to bear as he grapples with the potential consequences of his actions. Helping these people could mean risking his own life and the life of his partner. The Nazis are relentless in their pursuit of those who defy their orders, and the punishment for aiding Jews is severe. The stakes are incredibly high, and the margin for error is non-existent. The consequences of being caught harboring Jews are unthinkable. Torture, imprisonment, and death are the likely outcomes. The fear of discovery is a constant companion, a shadow that looms over every decision and every action. Yet he is confronted with their humanity, their desperation mirroring his own will to survive. In their eyes, he sees a reflection of his own struggles, his own fears. The bond of shared suffering creates a connection that is impossible to ignore. The decision weighs heavily upon Socha. Every fiber of his being is torn between the instinct to protect himself and the urge to help those in need. The internal conflict is a battle of wills, a struggle between self-preservation and empathy. His instinct for self-preservation wars with a flicker of empathy he can't ignore. The human connection, the shared experience of suffering, tugs at his heartstrings. He knows that turning his back on these people would be a betrayal of his own humanity. The sewers, a place devoid of light and hope, become a battleground for Socha's soul. The darkness is not just physical, but metaphorical, representing the moral and ethical dilemmas he faces. Every step he takes is a step deeper into the abyss of his own conscience. The fate of these desperate souls, seeking sanctuary in the bowels of the earth, now rests in his hands. Their lives, their futures, are intertwined with his decision. The responsibility is immense, and the pressure is almost unbearable. His choice will reverberate through the darkness, shaping not only his destiny, but the destinies of those he encounters. The echoes of his decision will ripple through time, affecting countless lives in ways he cannot even begin to imagine. In this moment, in the depths of the sewers, Socha's true character will be revealed.